Yo, what's up, everybody? You know what time it is, that usual time. Like, we like to talk a little football. You know what to do. Hit the damn like, hit the damn subscribe. We got a lot to talk about. Let's freaking roll, baby. Let's go.
Let's go! This ain't the box like horses think he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Oh, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Kicking It Stateside, your favorite soccer show of all time. Back again. A lovely Wednesday here in the Northeast of New Jersey, Philadelphia area. We got a lot to talk about, my friend, and it's all cups. We got full-on African Cup of Nations. Also, at some point in this show, we are going to get into the U.S. men's national team, a little teaser for next week as the U.S. men's national team get ready for their January qualifying window, as we're getting that train slowly rolling down the tracks to hopefully covering and qualifying for this World Cup coming up in Qatar in November. So again, lots to talk about. We're going to start it off with our poll question. Again, sponsored by Specialized Physical Therapy. You know the good doc, Paul Vidal. He's been our guy ever since we started this show. He's always there. You know, number one in South Jersey. You know, take care of your health. He has the telehealth. You know, I know it's a crazy time. You know, I feel like we've been saying that, again, for the last 2 years almost. But you know what? Brighter times are ahead, folks. And brighter times are hopefully ahead for Arsenal, which slides us into our poll question. Tomorrow we got Carabao Cup, obviously. First leg, Brian, perfect segue for you as well. Got to feel like a win, wouldn't you say, for your boys last week? And we got, obviously, the second leg tomorrow, 0-0 going back to the Emirates. What do you think? I'm going to open it up to you. Will Arsenal get the job done tomorrow and win at home to move on to face Chelsea in the final?
I've never had a tie feel so glorifying in my entire life of any sport, and this is a sport where a tie can be rather glorifying. That one really goes down for me as one of the good ones. Now we'll see what we do with the opportunity here tomorrow. That's gonna really determine how that's looked at a long-term moment and memory in Arsenal history. But if we come out and we can handle our business at home tomorrow, we win the game, and we move on, then that's one of the best ties you will ever see. For a team to be put in that adversity, first of all, to be both teams being shorthanded, and then Arsenal being on their second string right back to start the game in Cedric, and to lose him 10 minutes into the game, have to already make a change 10 minutes into the game, and then to have that red card happen in the 24th minute. And it was like, I think I said it to you guys and I tweeted out, it was like Arteta knew. Like, he had a game plan. When you're starting Granit Xhaka in a game, he has a code red game plan in his back pocket, because as soon as it happened, he made the scramble. He made the right moves. He basically, I told you guys, look for a back seven, basically. I mean, that's essentially what it was going to be. It was a back three, and he just dropped everybody and played defensively and played intelligently. And at the end of the day, Liverpool had a few opportunities they did not capitalize on. Probably some lucky bounces, but that's the name of the game, man. And we're going home with an opportunity to just handle our business. And here's what I want before I finally actually answer the question, because I've been trying to avoid answering the question. But I want to see a win. I want to see a win in regular time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to extra time. I sure as hell don't want to go to PKs. Like, that's what I want, to see the progress and to see what, like, the vision we talk about and what I hope that we're reaching that next level of getting back to being competitive with the Chelseas, the Cities, the Liverpools of the world, is taking this advantage, squeaking through like we did, taking the home game and winning at home. I don't care if it's 1-0, 2-1, but doing it in regular time and just moving on and playing Chelsea in the final. That would be phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, it's
now, will they?
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to treat that, last week as a huge win. I mean, obviously it doesn't reflect on the scoreboard that it wasn't, technically a win, but I mean, a draw, being down a man after a Chaco red card, in the 24th minute? It was early.
Yeah, 24th.
To kind of batten the hatches down and still look pretty decent in the second half, I thought. I mean,
actually had some opportunities in the second half to actually score a goal.
I think it was Saka was one-on-one with Allison there. Tried to dink him a little bit, and good save. But, all in all, I thought for being down a man, they didn't play that bad. I thought it was a pretty evenly fought game. Obviously, Liverpool was pushing it towards the end there, as their up a guy. But I didn't think that they looked anything crazy on the attack. They had some good chances as well. Obviously, Minamino definitely scuffed a few of them. He skied a few over the bar there late. But, it's Liverpool didn't capitalize on their chances, basically. And it could come back to haunt them. We'll see. Eventually, we're going to get back into this topic. We're going to have Lord Walker on at some point today, when we are getting into U.S. men's national team as well, a little preview on them. We'll talk a little bit again. We'll kind of resurface this conversation, and I'm going to give you my take once we get to that point. And I'm sure Brian and Lord Walker will have – there's some tension. You can cut that tension with a knife. So we're going to get into it. It's always fun when these two get back and banter against each other. So
I think that's where it becomes
– that.
Yeah, it becomes so frustrating for me because I'm not on the end of it. I can't control it. So I have to stand by my boys, and I have to put up a fight with all the foul mouth things that are said about my club. Like Arsenal fan base and Arsenal Twitter said this week, all of a sudden we're back. It feels like we're a big club again. People hate us again, and we love it. We love it, and it's great. It's a good thing, and I'm okay with it. That means it means we're drawing some attention, because even going back to when we started this show, it was like, yeah, fan base kind of fights between each other. Things aren't good right now. There's no unity. Some are Arteta in, some are Arteta out. Some were Emery in, some were Emery out. Like, it's just been volatile from the end of Arsenal till now, and it seems like this team's kind of uniting, and the fan base is reuniting.
Right.
And I think we're gonna get this done, man. Like you said, we'll talk more about it once he comes on. But
for sure.
And Danny, yes, Copa del Rey, that is going on right now as well. Like Adam said to start the show, we are in cup season right now. There are cups out your wazoo. There's so many that we're not even going to touch probably on every single one going on in the world right now. But we are going to get to some of the big ones. And right now, Real Sociedad is leading Atletico 2-0 in the 81st minute. So typical Atletico, not showing up for these games. Real Sociedad shows that they can score. So not a big surprise.
Yeah, and one of those, the that's just kind of how it is, right? With Atletico, they're not going to be ones that are going to play from behind because they play, very defensive style. So coming back from 2-0, obviously it's 84th minute. It's going to take a damn miracle to get them those 2 goals to send it into extra time. But obviously anything could happen, because segueing into that, we also had some actual Premier League games today in the actual league, aside from this Carabao Cup run. Spurs, I know we hate the Spuds on this show. We're not going to get into too much on that, but big win come from behind.
Yeah.
Steve Bergwijn, 2 goals, one in the 95th and one in the 97th, to come back and beat Leicester 3-2. 2 90-plus minute goals. Unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Like you said, we were all Fox fans today. We thought James Maddison scores in the 76th minute, puts them ahead. The way the Spurs have been playing, you figured that kind of sealed the deal. They were going to go on and hold that. And you got a large amount of extended time there, and Stevie comes in and not just to equalize and get the point back, but somehow Leicester, falls asleep at the wheel and allows him to do 2 in the waning seconds.
In the dying moments.
And then Spurs are still, as much as it's been an issue for them, man, they're still relevant as of now in the table. And everybody's got to keep that little eye over their shoulder on them right now, including Arsenal, who kind of pissed them off. So now it kind of gave them a chip on the shoulder for when we do have the replay of this North London derby, which, again, I don't necessarily agree with. We can get into that now while we're talking about Spurs, too, since we didn't get a chance over the weekend. Arsenal did ask for a postponement after I had given Liverpool and their fans and Lord Walker such a hard time. Now, again, and as Lord Walker would have probably been quick to state out, it was a completely different situation because it's a different tournament, different scenario. This is a North London derby in a season where we're actually in a chance and a fight for 4th place and a chance to get back to Champions League. And that game has a tremendous amount of value, more, some would say, than a Carabao Cup game. But anyway.
Some would say.
Some would say. Some wouldn't. And those Carabao Cup games are nothing to shake a stick at either. They're important. But generally those are played by rotated squads a lot of the times anyway. But hey, we got the postponement. I think it was a legitimate gripe for postponement, especially with guys on reds and guys in the Africa Cup of Nations. And the unfortunate thing is the rules been completely bent, and they need to redo the rules now because the rules for one tournament are different than another tournament, and the rules for COVID compared to rules for injuries and guys going out on international assignment are all jumbled and messed up. And there's loopholes, and teams are taking advantage of it. Not to mention, it's all the press because of Liverpool and Arsenal these last 2 weeks, but there have been 21 postponements already this season. Right. Burnley's been part of 4 of them. Burnley's played 17 games, so
not surprising up there.
Yeah, so we can't really point fingers at anybody at this point anymore. I say that it's just a giant mess. They need to fix it, and let's not have any more postponements. Let's just play these games.
Everybody's got their own little rules, EFL, FA Cup, everybody's all different. It's like, why can't we all just get on the same page so it's not, again, what I'm sure Lord Walker is going to bring up later, you were complaining about it and all this other stuff, and, there's different rules for each tournament. And I guess that's what you get for having a League Cup plus the FA Cup. Plus, you got to worry about the actual Premier League in itself. So,
I told him, I still not saying I agree with it. I'm not happy that Arsenal postponed that game. I wanted to play that game. I wanted to watch that game. Obviously, I'm not playing that, but
right.
there was enough guys that were hyped to play, but Were we shorthanded? Oh, yeah.
I get it. They want the best players to be able to play. It's like any sport that, has a threat of getting postponed these days because of COVID, and I get that, but
well, and the problem
you're
is
just
when
hurting them now because you thought the schedule was jumbled before. I mean, with these postponements, you make it even worse.
Yeah,
for these players.
Now, when your teams like Arsenal, when your teams like Liverpool, and you're losing guys not just to injury and stuff, but to these cup games and stuff like that too, that hurts. I mean, look at Liverpool; they're going to have to play this game tomorrow again without their two best scorers in Salah and Sadio Mane. So Arsenal's going to have to play without Thomas Partey. It is what it is. But some of these teams don't have to deal with that either. Some of these teams don't have guys playing in the African Cup of Nations.
Right.
Some guys don't have, or maybe they have one guy, and they're not that prominent of a guy that's really hurting their roster like that. So some teams end up getting hurt even worse than others. Like we even lose El Nahi. So even if Partey's out, we don't even have that backup position.
I would say kind of into the African Cup of Nations, Ghana got sent home from the tournament early. Didn't even make it out of the group stage.
Yeah, which is great. They're trying. All of Arsenal Twitter was begging that they got a plane to Thomas Partey as fast as possible. And
there's got to be some rule. He's got to get quarantined of some.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. But they're hoping. We are hoping for the weekend at least. There's no way they'll have him by tomorrow. It's not gonna happen. But
yeah, the little island that I was telling you about, Comoros Island, I bet on, they beat Ghana.
Yeah, that was monstrous.
First win ever in the African Cup of Nations. They weren't even recognized by UEFA at all till not that long ago. I think 2015, and they're ranked. The small island is ranked 132nd in the world, and somehow beat an African powerhouse in Ghana.
Yeah, I texted my boy who's from Ghana. I was like, dude, you could make the squad right now. I was like, you might as well go try out because there's turmoil right now. So, yeah, but that was huge. Huge talk about monster upsets. Egypt did win their game today, and Mo Salah was in the lineup, and Mohamed El Nahi were both in the lineup. They won 1-0.
Egypt and
Nigeria took the win.
Yes, Super Eagles are got to be the favorites now going forward. I would assume.
I would say so. When you start looking at the rosters, you can kind of tell by once you're seeing 3, 4, 5 recognizable names in the rosters.
It's usually a good sign.
That's a good sign, yeah.
Dan said Inter about to be out of the Coppa Italia, which I saw.
I know.
Of course, the hero from last week, if you missed the show, Alexis Sanchez got that game winner in the dying moments of Inter's Copa game last week. Gets another goal early, but Empoli gets back in the game on an own goal in the 76th minute to make it 2-1.
By Radu.
Looks like that might hold for now. They're in the 90th minute, so we'll see. That could be a nice little upset for Empoli.
Yeah, big time. A lot of upsets this week here.
Yeah, it was a tough break, for my Dortmund folk out there. Just losing to the little brothers in St. Pauli. It's tough.
Yeah, the leaders of German League 2 right now, St. Pauli with a monstrous upset over Dortmund. Bayern's already out of that tournament, so I can't really talk as well. I would say Leipzig's probably the favorite going forward with their win today. I know they ended up, I think they won 2-0 today, maybe more than that.
The magic of the cup, the German cup, could not continue as Hansa Rostock could not come up with the upset. But Hanover did beat Gladbach, which is a surprise because Hanover's down in the second division, so that was a nice one. Yeah, and
Gladbach's
been terrible form.
Union Berlin beat Hertha Berlin 3-2 in a real cracker. So
the Berlin derby, love it.
That's huge. Leveled up. Inter just leveled it up. 91st minute.
I just spoke right into existence.
You did. Adam is very good at doing that. So we will make sure that
Andrea Ranocchia with the tying goal again. Inter just living and dying by the skin of their teeth in this Coppa Italia, getting some huge late game-winning and tying goals here. So,
if anybody has Empoli's social medias, let's get that cut and sent over to them. Adam just giving him his famous kiss of death. Only if they lose. If they lose, just remember it was at the 20th minute. We'll right around the 20th minute, we'll send that over to their.
Oh, that's brutal. I feel so bad. I was like, oh, Empoli on their way to a huge win. Nice upset. And now I'm going to have to make an apology to another fan base. I already did that for Nottingham Forest last year. So if Empoli goes on to lose, all the Empoli fans, I promise I will buy a jersey and I will make a apology on a show to be named later.
Oh, man.
It's
going to get costly.
Yeah.
So, just so everybody out there realizes, too, for all the casual fans that
I know, that's a lot of you probably think that we're talking in some crazy language with all this the Coppa Italia is just the Italian Cup, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they have no idea. You could scroll down today. It's so deep today. I mean, you can get Kenyan Premier League scores today.
Yeah.
You got Indian Super League going on. You got the Honduran League going on. You got the French League 2. You got Greek League. You got Turkish. Just pick something. You can watch games. The other morning, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. I couldn't go back to sleep. And I threw Hulu on, and I realized that there was a big game. It was an Australian League game.
Oh, nice. The A-League.
Yeah, it was like Sydney FC and like Melbourne City or one of them. It was a phenomenal game. But like when you can't sleep at 3:30 in the morning, there's probably a game on.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes the Chinese Super League. See a 45-year-old Brazilian former star just living out his heydays.
Yeah, the Chinese league is good because you could catch a name that you probably recognize from like a bigger club back in the day that just took the money when it was, presented to them. Oscar, all my Chelsea fans out there, he's still in China somewhere.
I think Hulk's still lost in China somewhere too.
He is, yep. He sure is. Also in Premier League that just went final, the mighty Reds of Man United got back in the win column after a rough stretch there. Pretty much handled Brentford on the road 3-1. Mason Greenwood and Rashford with 2 late goals. And this youngster Alanga with the first goal for United, and then Ivan Toney for Brentford got the just a consolation goal.
I was going to say the meaningless 85th minute goal.
Brentford's form of run is, the new shiny toy in the league is, that when people don't really know much about you, you can come in and kind of surprise some teams. Just ask Arsenal that first game. But then that either can really wear off or you can keep that going, just like kind of Leeds did last year. And Sheffield did the year before that when you're finishing in the top 10. Brentford started out great. It's a long season, and you have to continue that the whole way. And it seems to be I think that luster seems to be gone here for Brentford going forward.
The only positive, I have mentioned it numerous times, is the hot start that they did get on. And I think that alone is going to keep them afloat this season because there's so many other bad teams at the bottom of the table that even though they're having a poor run of form right now and the league's kind of catching up to them and the amount of fixtures is catching up to them, they should still be okay. They're going to struggle and they're going to head down towards the bottom of that table by the season's end, but I don't think they're going to have to really worry too much towards that bottom 3 talk with as bad as Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich.
I mean, at this point, if you have, I mean, they have what, 5, 6 wins already? They have 6 wins already, and you have 3 teams down at the bottom with 1 each with those teams you just mentioned. So I'm pretty sure, yes, they might, struggle. They're probably not going to beat the big boys, but they'll get enough points to stay up because there's so many bad teams already like below them with Watford, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley. Everton is in total disarray.
Yeah, but you got to worry now because they're about to get big dunked.
Guess what? That shocked me. I was like, no way. Dunk's the caretaker again?
He's still there. And then he's going to
just do it. Make him just the manager. I don't know because it's kind of unfair to Big Dunk because he's always he's the Hayden Mullins.
Yeah.
When your coach gets yeah, I guess.
But even better, like
they're a little more spirited, I guess, when Duncan Ferguson is the manager instead of these yos that they've been getting.
You remember that last run? He's up there hugging players and picking them up like rag dolls and shaking them on the sidelines. Like he's good for the game, man.
Cares?
Yeah, he's
not there for the money. He's actually cares about the players.
They'll go on like a nice 4-game stretch, and then they'll hire some idiot that's been around 17 times, and it'll fail.
Who's like a retread that's been sniffing around? If Frankie Lamps has got to throw his name out there, right?
Oh yeah, Steve Bruce. Frankie Lamps' name was out there. They said Lamps and Wayne Rooney, and a lot of people have said that would be a monstrous. It would not be good for Rooney's career right now. He's still too young of a coach because that job is it's like Ole all over again. It's just destined to fail. And it's going to make him look bad, and it's going to make people hate him. Just like there's Chelsea fans now that hate Frank that shouldn't hate Frank. Same kind of. There's no reason to do it right now. Don't take that job yet if you're Wayne Rooney.
It's a little bit of a mess, I feel like to put into
Lucifer.
NFL terms, Everton's like the Chicago Bears. They just can't get it right.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, they just can't get it right.
It's a struggle.
But, it's, United, they're still waning in 7th right now.
Is Donnie Lucifer a United fan since he's a Devil? You're a Red Devils fan?
Donnie, I think he just likes the TV show.
Yeah.
What's up, Daly?
Actually, right now it does not suck to be an Arsenal fan right now. It does not.
It doesn't.
It's not terrible. There's some bright spots.
It sucks more to be a Chelsea fan because we just can't beat anybody right now.
I would say I would put our best young player up against anybody else's right now in Saka.
He's a good player, and I like Emil. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple really good young players, but just in general. But like Saka's he's another level. Emil's having a great year, and we have a lot of guys that are really coming along. But
play the kids. That's what you stressed from the very beginning.
Yes, sir.
But somebody actually listened.
Blazers boring to watch. Yeah, they are. We're way more exciting.
I always wonder if that's just that troll guy that just always is like Zoo Farmer Games. He always has random names.
Hey, that's okay.
Hilarious. You provide the entertainment. What else is going on in the world of football?
La Liga played today. Speaking of, I sent you guys a link for that NFT game. You guys should play that game. It was fun. I had 2 guys on Celtic Vigo today, so it gave me a reason to watch Celtic Vigo.
Celtic Vigo versus who'd they play?
Oh, it was who the hell is it? Asuna.
Oh, right. Yep.
It was Celtic Vigo handled them.
Did you see Hector Bellerin, your boy, was saying that the best club and best atmosphere he's ever been on was at Real Betis.
Oh yeah,
Currently, he's like, there's just so much more passion here than anywhere I've ever been. He's
oh,
like,
he's back home.
he's like, I took my dad or grandfather to the game the other day, and he's not even a Betis fan, but he was crying. I was like, oh.
Yeah, man, he's super back home. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I mean, he was one of those transitional players in this Arsenal lifeblood, I would say. Like he was okay, but he represents a time where things weren't necessarily the greatest, unfortunately, in
He had
my
his
eyes.
moments.
Yeah, like as a player, individual player, he had his moments, but if you look at the whole and the way the Arsenal teams were as a whole during some of his tenure there, it just wasn't, not always the fondest of memories towards the end there. And then when you get a guy like Tomiyasu who's come in, and the defense has just completely changed since he's taken over that starting right back position, you really don't miss Hector Bellerin and his fashion shows at all. So I'm
No,
glad for him though. I'm glad he's back
in
in Spain
Spain.
and he's happy. It's good.
Daly said he agrees to the poll. He thinks Arsenal's going to do it. I'm kind of leaning towards that, but just from what I saw that last week from between the two, I don't know. You could tell
My
Liverpool just misses their two, top guys.
Of course. My biggest fear is, and they kind of need to, but I feel like Arsenal's got to go for it.
Yeah.
And I know somebody else came out and was saying that too, one of the pundits. But they got to really push and they got to really go for it, and they got to try to take it to the team. The problem is when you do that to a team like Liverpool, even missing a Mane and a Salah, you can get caught on counters. And we saw it even in the last game. Now we were a man down for a while, but their transitional game for Arsenal or for Liverpool is solid. And sometimes when you're going for it too much, you get put in a position where you're in a bad spot defensively. And I don't want to take those chances, but at the same time, I don't want to try to sit back. Like I said, I don't want to play this thing into extra time and PKs, and I want to decisively win this game at home.
Yeah, you don't, well, especially with all the scheduling, and you're going to have to play this weekend again, I'm sure, and it's just to go another 120 minutes or whatever. Do they play extra time for Carabao Cup, or they go straight to PKs?
I think in this situation, I think it's an extra 30.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think they go. I could be wrong. I don't know if they go straight. I thought there would be an extra 30 because it's semifinals, but we could verify that. Danny, what question was that? I don't know. You asked me a lot of questions. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Probably the one about Forest. If you can't even beat Forest, how can you beat Liverpool?
Because do I really need to answer that question? Like, you consider yourself a studious football fan there, Dan? I mean, just the same reason St. Pauli just beat Dortmund, or the same reason that all these upsets happen. That Hanover even that beat Gladbach 3-0. Gladbach knocked Bayern out of the same tournament 5-0. So, it's any day, man. Any day.
Especially the Cups, man. You never know. It is disappointing, obviously, as a Dortmund fan. Of course, what are you going to do? I mean, it's the same old thing. They buy these older defensive players. They get totally fleeced by Bayern to buy Mats Hummels back, thinking he's going to be the old ageless wonder. He's going to be the same guy that he always was, but clearly not the case. They're having Emery Chan play at center back, for God's sakes. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know.
I laugh every
Akanji's-
time I hear his name. I don't know why.
Yeah. Akanji just, apparently he stinks for club team, but when he's with the Swiss national team, he's like one of the freaking best defenders out there.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's still pretty young, but he's getting older. He's 26, 27 now, something like that, Akanji.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, you're just, like, you see these things with him, and you're like, man, this kid could be great. And then he's just like an average defender at Dortmund. So
Sad.
It is. It is. Yes, Lord Walker, I'm sure he will be sending you the link at some point.
I have to find it.
Yeah, we still got a little time before he's popping on. Bry Guy, thanks for joining us. Go Man U.
Guy.
You can get away with that today. You got your dub today, so
good bounce back,
Yeah, as Adam said, they're climbing up to 7th now in the table. So
I think you just need to get Rashford back scoring some goals.
Yeah, they did today. He got one in the net today, so that was big for them. I guess it's a chemistry thing. You know how these United teams work.
Sure do.
I don't understand it sometimes because the talent is just immense.
Yeah, it's usually there.
Yeah. Now Martial was in the roster today, but did not get an appearance. I would love to see Arsenal go after him if he's so unhappy.
They're saying his time at United might be over here pretty soon.
I know, and we've been dragging our feet on this forward move apparently. So I've been clamoring for it. I would love to see. Yeah, I mean that's good, but I would take Anthony Martial in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
a Frenchman that can score the ball the way he does on Arsenal just seems fitting at this point, right? We need another striker. We need another guy up top. They're making some possible splashes. We'll see. We still have 12 days left.
Mm-hmm.
So typical window for Arsenal. It's 19 days in, and there's been a whole lot of talk and not a lot of movement.
Maybe you could pick up Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona.
Dave, we've been linked to Dembele 9 times. I honestly I there's not much I want. I want a striker. I want a bona fide scorer.
You want the young kid Vlahovic.
I do like him. I like him. I like what's his name too from the Swiss striker, the young Swiss striker as well. But I don't know, man.
Schick.
No, not Schick. Udo.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, hey, that'd be pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
All he does is score goals for Leverkusen. He's the only one that seems to score for them anymore.
Yeah, no, but I would be thrilled if Arsenal made a phone call to United and saw what it would take to get Martial.
I wonder what their asking price would be.
I don't know. They're going to keep telling you that his time's running out, but they want him back in the club. How come that always seems to happen? Everybody wants him back in.
That was wild.
I think that was my cat.
Just going crazy in the back.
Yeah.
Somebody's stepping on his tail. It's always an entertaining show, no matter what.
Man.
Whether it be cats, me just like mushing half the teams out there.
Yeah. Internet shutting down.
There's been a lot of internet gates over the 2 years we've been here. Just me being in the middle of the woods and Virginia just being choppy as fuck.
While we're talking Arsenal too, just so we might as well get it out there before we bring Lord Walker on too. See, the FA is investigating a suspicious betting pattern linked to Arsenal yellow card.
I did see that.
I guess they've been trying to track some of these things because I've always said it with sports betting. The likelihood that these guys, there isn't one or two that are going to their cousin and being like, put 50 grand on me to do this at, the 63rd minute.
It's like, yo, I'm finna get a yellow today.
Yeah. When you see me spit and run toward
I mean, I'm sure it happens. I mean, Kieran Trippier got in a little bit of hot water last year over that shit.
Yeah. So there is an investigation. No players have necessarily been named. Sometimes it's not as much of a link to an actual player, they said, as just a bookmaker in general or something like that. But it's interesting to keep an eye on. It's just one more thing.
It's a headline.
Another headline. Another reason why, again, we're back. Big club status. Getting headlines of being investigated. That's what you're looking for.
Well, Arsenal's on fire with that stuff. The Arsenal TV guys in a bit of hot water, to say the least, as well.
I've made our plug all week as our Arsenal fan base is growing because I've been trying to grow Twitter on both my personal end and the Kicking a Stateside end. Just letting people know that they can come on over to here. It's not all, it's not all red. I try to let everybody know, but at least one side is always going to have it. So they're more than welcome to jump over to the Kicking It Stateside bandwagon and join us.
Absolutely. I just never really have much going on. Today I'm wearing a Fishtown FC hat. Shout out to Fishtown FC.
Well, you got nothing going on because your team's like just being weird again.
It seems like it's just a thing at Chelsea. The manager comes in and does great, wins trophies, and then a year or two later they're gone. Yeah. Not even that they're losing; they're just not winning currently.
Yeah, they're just.
It lacks. It's what they said. Not to. I'd rather quote Danny Higginbotham yesterday instead of Tim Howard. They just lack a little something. They're missing. Thanks, Dan. You're always very.
I love Dan.
He's always the best with trying to troll us, but at this point, it's there's nothing really you could say to me anymore. Besides, you lost my train of thought. Oh, with Ben Chilwell out for Chelsea and Reece James out, they were saying that chemistry and just two wings that just bomb down the sides, like they're just missing a little bit of that,
Yeah.
Just the results aren't there. And by the way, Inter just scored again to make it 3-2 at the end of the first 15 in extra time. So 3-2 Inter.
Nice.
So again, just apologies to Empoli. I'm very sorry for mushing your side. I don't mean to do this.
They had complete control. They were going on to a monstrous win, biggest win club's had in a while, and Adam just murdered
until
him.
I opened my mouth.
Stefano Sensi, big time goal, puts them ahead. They got 15. Hey, they got 15 minutes. You never know. You could bring them back. You could will them back. They got another 15. Try and get somebody to put the ball in the net.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, this week in the Premier League, we got more crazy tongue-tied. More crazy action. Speaking of Chelsea, they play Spurs this weekend on Sunday. I would say is probably the best game of the weekend so far coming up here.
Yeah, by far.
Man United West Ham on Saturday at 10 a.m. is pretty intriguing. Manchester United looking to keep that run of form going. Just got a good one today. Looking for some more against the Hammers, who on the road are a completely different team than they have been at home. So that's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I guess I hate to say to keep an eye on. Well, United, the United West Ham game. City, you have to keep an eye on because it's just a matter of time till it's becoming mathematical.
Right.
So, and they get the beauty of playing Southampton in Southampton. So we'll see. Maybe we're all Southampton fans. We're gonna take this match week by match week, and pretty much anybody that's still in somewhat of any type of contention is gonna root against City going forward here.
Absolutely. Benny's Nation wants to know thoughts on Luis Suarez wanting to reunite with Stevie G at Villa.
That would be big time.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Coutinho again, another person that I badmouthed last week, and of course, he shoves it.
Yeah.
Throw.
Thank you guys. Nobody picked him up in fantasy. I got him and Karen Trippier in the last waiver wire, which I needed because I've fallen way down in the standings, and that was big. Got a big win this week, thanks to Coutinho.
Yeah, Coutinho again. Just I thought he was. I said he was overrated, and he just said, "Yeah, okay, bud." Keep sitting in your chair, and I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
I don't know, man. I see. I don't think you're wrong though, and I think it's just in how it's worded or perceived. I wouldn't say he's overrated, but I would say he leaves stuff to be desired because he's one of them guys who will work for a while, but will that work ethic stay? Yeah. This is your debut, so yeah, you come off the bench, you work hard, you put in a goal, you get an assist, great. But when Villa goes on a 3-4 game skid and it's super cold out in the middle of February, late March, and they're a mid-table team and things aren't necessarily like you're not playing for much, are you going to get that same Philip Coutinho?
Right.
And that's where I always question him and certain other guys that I see similar type players where the talent's always there. It's just what are you gonna get out of him? Aubameyang's a lot like that. He's always been a lot like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Villa's been playing a lot better since CVG's came on board. So
yeah.
Now Coutinho had him. I mean, if Suarez they can get that done, be interesting to see what asking price. I don't know how old is Suarez these days.
Yeah, he's getting up there. I don't think it'd be too crazy to get him prime away from Atletico.
But still, I think he still can do it. Not that he's in the same sentence as Ronaldo being that old and still, producing at the level he's been his whole career. But, I mean, shit. Any Luis Suarez, I think, would help Villa out, especially because Ollie Watkins just hasn't, as a whole, he hasn't really panned out,
Mm-mm.
Ever since he made that move. He hasn't been that guy. He hasn't been that, that killer striker that they really truly need to be successful club.
Yeah. And they gave up on the Sebastian Haller project, who scored again for Ivory Coast since his transfer.
That might have been the best move that Haller's had in his whole career. Now he's at Ajax scoring goals left and right. I think was he top in Champions League in goals?
He might have been, yeah, in at least in group stage.
And now he's just continuing in the African Cup of Nations. So whatever,
getting away from
France
got
under his ass.
Yeah, big ups to him. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who else is really there? It's the only mainstays you really got. It's, Johnny McGinn. Every time he's filling out that, starting 11, John's in there, Emmy's in there, Matty Cash, their back line probably, I would say, but there's nobody else really as their attack that would be like, he has to be in the team.
Yeah, the opportunity is going to be there, without a doubt.
But if they can get Suarez, that's a game changer. Because, where are they at?
They're mid.
Yeah, more towards the bottom, actually. I didn't realize they were that far. They're at 23 points. They're the same. They're level with Brentford.
Yeah.
Just ahead on goal difference. So, I don't know. Again, they'll do enough. But it is what it is. I don't think in our pre-season predictions we had Villa finishing anywhere crazy. Maybe top 10, maybe just outside, but they're another one of those teams. They're Brighton. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to stay up. They're going to get enough points to be okay. And again, like we said earlier, there's so many bad teams right now that you could even look at the table and say, wow, I can see, those possible bottom four. Any four of those can go down.
At least they're spending some of that Grealish money, and they're not just pocketing it all.
True. Maybe Norwich should take a page out of that and should have sold some of their guys when they had the chance.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, they wouldn't have got the same kind of return on their guys, but they definitely should have. Should have made some moves. They should have just got a goalkeeper. That's all they really needed to do.
You don't like Tim Krul?
No. No. I did like 8 years ago.
Yeah, when he was competing for the Dutch national side.
Yeah.
Starting.
Now, not so much.
Nah.
Time is cruel.
Pun intended.
Absolutely.
We have Lord Walker waiting in the wings.
Okay. Bring him on.
All right. So, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, our good friend, our confidant, Lord Walker, joining the show with us. What's up, bud? How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. You guys hear me?
I can. Loud and clear.
All right. Just making sure.
He wants to be heard.
For sure on this one. On a couple of things you guys have been talking about. It's all good. I figured I'd let you get your practice shots in before I got in.
Yeah, that's how we have to operate, Let's keep you in the back and get them all in, and then let you.
It's true.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing?
Yeah, good, man. How
wonderful,
are you?
Man.
Good.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, it has been. It's good to see you guys back on and consistently coming in with the fire every week. So it's good to see. Yeah,
you need to recharge the battery, but figured once 2022 started up, come back, ready to rock, man.
Yeah,
ready to
totally
finish this out, ready to, like we will probably talk about before the show ends, the U.S. men's national team, getting ready for their January window here, crucial 3 games. We got that one against Canada. That's going to be huge. Probably,
very huge. Yeah.
Not to say that it's going to make or break like first or finishing second, but it's going to be, the winner of that game has a pretty good handle on, winning the group.
Sure.
Both teams already played Mexico once and played them well. The U.S. still have to go to Mexico. I'm not sure if I know Mexico got the slap on the wrist finally, where they're not allowed to play in front of any fans, but I'm not sure how many games coming up that goes towards. So I don't know if that will overlap into the game against the U.S. But if there's no fans, especially when we go to the Azteca, that'd be huge. You know?
There's probably not going to be fans when we go to Canada.
That's true.
There's a lot. There's not fans. There's not fans for their hockey games right now. There's not fans for their basketball games right now. We might make out really well in this actually, and we might not get fans when we go to Canada on the 30th. We might be able to take advantage of that situation.
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference if you don't play in front of fans. So we saw that all throughout the Prem and various leagues where teams that normally don't perform well were winning. And it was actually, I think last year was the largest number of wins for away teams in, I think, their history, or at least one of the top leagues, top seasons like that. So.
Right.
Yeah. Most importantly, and we'll go back to that next week, because basically next Wednesday will be the pregame show for the El Salvador matchup. That's all we should be talking about at this point anyway. Let's not worry about Canada. Let's not worry about Mexico in February. Let's worry about, we have a little revenge we have with El Salvador. That we need to take care of on our home turf. And start there and build off of that.
Even with Honduras, we have to play strong against Honduras. All these teams are well and good.
Yeah. So I just think El Salvador most because of the fact that we went down there, we shit the bed against that team that we were supposed to beat. You remember, it's been a while now, but you had the photos of the riot shields on the corner kicks and all that. We owe them. That's a game where we pick up goal differential and we remind everybody that we are the best team in CONCACAF.
Well, that stadium is very difficult to play in. I know the game that the match that we won down there. I remember I wanted to go, but even Kyle was telling me about how the fact that it is not a pleasant environment to be in as a fan, because you're playing these barbed wired fences, basically, and watching this game because you have to be separated from the other fans because incidents come out, and how you have to, same way that they do it in some games in the league, in the Premier League too, where they have to allow for the fans to leave before the other fans leave, just so that there's no incidents, even just everyone walking out together. That's how bad it is. So it is a very, very difficult environment to play in. And I mean, a lot of those other countries like El Salvador and Honduras, are very difficult. They have their own unique qualities as well with their stadiums. So it should be good if we don't have to play in front of fans. And I think that
we get the home game. They got to come up to Columbus. So we owe them one back. So I don't expect the Columbus fans to be that volatile. But
no.
I do expect them to step up and they're a good fan base. That's kind of big around the game for the MLS. So
Ohio is a great state to watch soccer in, and despite your Cincinnati hatred, I still think that Cincinnati was a great stadium, a great environment for them to play in. They played well in it.
It's great for the U.S. men's national. The stadium's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful stadium.
It was. It absolutely is. But the environment was great too. The Cincinnati people. I'm not a big Cincinnati fan or anything, but the Cincinnati people came out and represented, and I was appreciative of that. That's the only thing I ask for. I don't like it when we have these games, for instance, like when we have them in Texas or even Arizona sometimes, and we have to play these teams that have large fan bases, especially Mexico. And when it comes out, you feel like you're not at a home match, and that's not the environment
you want to have. Move that as far away from that as possible with, and again, the elements for all three games coming up. You got apparently snow in the forecast for Columbus, and apparently in Minneapolis, that second game, I believe, right? Are they playing Minneapolis this time around?
I think I think that might be the Honduras game is Minneapolis.
Okay. So both those.
Yeah,
And
the first
I'm
one's
sure the
Columbus.
Canadian game is going to be obviously probably frigid weather. So, I mean, that's 3 games that you're going to have to fight the elements to, not only just the team on the field, but now you're playing in these frigid temperatures. And of course, why would they pick Minnesota in the middle of winter to
Well, I'd
play
say
a
I'd,
game in?
I'd say this. It's the same reason why they picked Denver when we played that snowbound game, and
Oh,
we
that
had,
was insane.
and
Home field advantage.
that was insane. I mean, it's bad enough you're playing in Colorado, which has the elevation, but then to have it where it's like snowing out,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the. I thought that was one of the coolest games to
Was that
have watched.
Costa Rica they played?
I believe it was. I believe it was Costa Rica, and I think
They
they
tried to protest.
yeah, they tried to protest. I think Dempsey had the goal in that game. I think
Mhm.
he was the one who
Yep.
scored, and it was just one of those games where you're just like, oh wow, this is a pretty cool environment, and the fact that they're playing through the snow, sometimes the ball would just like stick, that's how bad it was. It was a real cool event. So yeah, I'm excited to see us play. I think excited to see us play, and I'm
Yeah, and
proud to see that Benny's Nation is on here with us, and it's just super too great.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put
Oh,
Pete's
man.
comment up there. Pete's.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
comment.
tough. I don't know, man.
You can't even call that chili. It's not chili.
That just sounds like a stomach ache waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Skyline chili.
Well, don't make me Ron White on you. Have a conversation about chili.
Gross.
But yeah, that's what college kids make when they're drunk and they have nothing else to eat except a box of pasta and a can of Hormel chili. That's what Skyline chili is.
So
Ain't no damn noodle.
Yeah, thank you. So anyway,
Benny's Nation.
let's
I would like to let me answer Benny's Nation's question, please, because I like the fact that he's talking about Suarez coming back to join. Look, if Suarez comes back to Villa, that actually will be a interesting move, considering it's like it would be like Gerard trying to get the whole band back together. But like, I was one of the few people that was wanting to see Coutinho come back to Liverpool, to be honest with you, because despite the fact that the way that he left and everything else, I still think that he's got something in the tank, and I still think that he showed it this past game where he came in and contributed immediately. Basically, you saw such a gear change as soon as he entered the game, and Suarez is possibly top 10, one of the top 10 greatest players of the current FIFA world, I guess you could say, or FIFA, like one of the best players, period. And
Right.
I don't like Suarez as a person at all. I think he's a scumball, but like as a soccer player, he is an amazing player.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like you said, I think it's, again, it doesn't matter the age of Suarez. I think he's still going to give you that something,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's still got that.
Absolutely. He's a patron of dark arts, definitely. I mean, like, as they say, but he's always gonna have something. Just because he is that type of player, he's always gonna have something in the tank, and he's shown it by winning, the La Liga last year, and showing Barcelona that obviously that he still has something to contribute. So I think he would do well.
Yeah, the guy's an absolute gamer. Everybody would love to have him as their striker. As long as he still throws the cleats on, like you said, he's going to give you something until that day comes where he decides that he doesn't want to anymore. He doesn't seem like a guy that's going to just collect a paycheck and run out onto the pitch. Like when he's done, he's done. But if he's going to put his feet out there, he's going to play hard.
That'll bring some serious buzz back to Villa. Oh my Lord.
Yeah,
and get him.
Hey, Villa is a decent team, and ever since Gerard has taken over, Villa has definitely had a resurgence, and that whenever most of these teams get a new coach, it's always you get that bump. They call it that new coach bump, and it will wear off usually. Maybe 2, 3, 4 games. Take for Man U, for example. Had a little bit of that, but you really see who and what kind of team you have and what kind of coach you have easily like a month or two into their reign, and that's when you're going to see what kind of coach what kind of season you're going to have with this coach. And I think Gerard's a good coach.
Hey, it definitely helps when you bring in a good player like Coutinho as well for a new coach to give him some help. So
he is the magician.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're all hurting right now a little bit in the midfield and could use a guy like Coutinho in our midfields as well.
That's really why I wanted to see him come back, especially for what he was going to be able to. We possibly could have gotten on maybe a free, or even if it is a loan deal, having a decent transfer. But Villa paid for him though. They did pay for him.
Oh yeah.
So like, they put some real.
Thiago cost you Coutinho.
Very true. Hey, without Coutinho, and then for all the haters of Coutinho or people that are butthurt over it, look, without Coutinho, we would not be the team that we are for Liverpool, at least. And that's why I appreciate him, the fact that we sold him for an enormous fee, and that enormous fee helped us bring in two players that have brought us multiple silverware. So I'm appreciative.
Yeah.
No, and I can't even. You know what? I can't hate on it. If you're a Chelsea fan, if you had the opportunity, let's say hypothetically, you're playing at, I don't know, Man U, or playing at Byron, and you had the opportunity to go to Chelsea, which is like your boyhood, fan favorite, or even Arsenal for you, Brian. Like, you would do everything and anything to get there. Period. Like, as in, you possibly fake a back injury like he did, or you say you don't want to go to practice. Those things would go if you had the opportunity, that small sliver, to play for the one team, considering how many teams there are and how you really don't. Soccer is a little bit different than the sports in America, because you do have somewhat of a say in where you get to go. Like, you have to agree to that contract, for instance, and you could shut something down completely. So, in basketball or football, hey, if they want to get an asset, you could be gone tomorrow, So it is something where I can't necessarily hate on him for wanting to go to his boyhood dream of Barcelona, or even with some of the players who want to go to Real Madrid. I understand that completely, but you just got to hope that Liverpool is one of their boyhood favorites, or Arsenal is one of their boyhood favorites, or or Chelsea, whoever it is. You guys just hope that player has love for your team. And that's ultimately what you want, but that ultimately isn't what we always get. So that's
I'm going through that right now with Bukayo Saka, and it's like, is that going to be one of those guys that I'm going to get to go buy his kits and not have to worry that in 2 years he's going to be linked to Chelsea because they're writing the big paycheck, or City because they're writing the big paycheck, or more so not even just leaving to the Barcelonas or the Madrids, but to inside your own league. And
that hurts.
Like
you have a great example. When Van Persie went to Man U, that was a slap in the face for Gunner fans.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of Gunner fans that don't, still to this day, have hatred towards him because of that move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at him the same. I don't hate him, but I definitely don't look at him the same.
I don't look at El Nino was one of my favorite players, and despite the fact that he went to Chelsea, does not have any. It still almost didn't have any direct. I guess because the way that he performed helped. If he'd gone to Chelsea, a Prem or win like some Champions League, then I'd have a little bit even more animosity towards him. But I will admit that it's a little bit of that, in combination of the fact that, I still love El Nino. I still think he's a great player, and I appreciate the times that he gave me while he's there. I'm not gonna pine and be all sad because we've moved on. Liverpool is I'm for the team more so than just the players. That's, I guess I could say.
No, yeah. I mean, when Frank Lampard went to Man City, that was a little like, all right, dude, why?
Yeah.
What's that for?
Yeah. Those things can hurt. Nobody wants to see your girlfriend with your best friend or something, or with your hated friend, actually, not even best friend. hated like rival. No one wants to
Yeah,
see
a guy I
that.
don't like. It's like, damn it.
No.
Yeah.
Anybody else? He could have won
Anybody else, but him, yeah, that's not good. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we just got a fight in the schoolyard, and now she's walking around with him. Like, damn, man, that's a
Yeah.
killer.
Feeling. But yeah, the real reason, why we wanted to bring you on, obviously,
Yes.
the big game
let's
tomorrow.
bring it. Let's bring it.
Is because Adam's sitting pretty for a week and a half now, waiting for one of us to play him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
that's very true. That's very true. But then again, they need it. Apparently, the Tuchel says that they need it, considering they're so tired.
So tired.
Hey, you know what?
That's his direct words. They're tired. You're tired.
Here's what I think these guys have to understand. When you're going to come to this league from now on, there's no winter break. You know that when you sign a contract to coach in this league doesn't have a winter break. You might have coached in plenty of other leagues that do have winter breaks. We don't have a winter break.
Quite the opposite.
And it's quite the opposite. And you have cup games, and now you have this COVID nonsense. So I think we just now all need to just know that it's not going to be right. They're not going to be able to get it right. It's a giant mess.
But can't they should attempt to try to get it right. I'm not going.
They should. I
can't agree with you more on the fact that, yes, the fact they even call it a winter break is stupid because it's really not. But the fact that name other leagues, or not even leagues, name other sports where in the middle of your season, your best players possibly will be taken from your team to go play for something else while you are still going on with your season. It doesn't happen in football. Imagine if someone's like, oh yeah, cool, but we're going to take out Tom Brady for 3 weeks. He's got to go play in this other event, You'd be pretty pissed off. So like, say that's not something that needs to be addressed. It is. It's not. It's a weird thing that you have to say to yourself. Oh, I got to like figure out how I'm going to like come up on these games, especially when your team's getting into form or you're getting like actually some momentum or things such as that, and then to be like, oh, but now we're going to pop these people out, and then going to have to like scramble and figure out what it is to say, oh yeah, you deserve to lose these games or you deserve to win these games. That's very, very difficult to say.
It's strange that why is it that they have the African Cup of Nations during the season and they don't have any like pause break? Just not worth it. Not enough big players in that tournament.
I know that the AFCON
temperature
is a temperature thing. It's like the reason why they have to play now is because of the the extreme temperatures, especially during the summer, where it would be the breaks that you could possibly get it in. And it's the same reason why they're trying to do this World Cup now in the wintertime rather than having it during the summer. Yeah,
dumb.
I guess. But that's my point, is that they're bending and maneuvering rules and things such as that just to accommodate for certain leagues or competitions. Just do the same for your own. Right. Prem, do the same for your own. Figure out something. Whether it is like, okay, there's 2-week break, whereas you have a 2-week pause for the season or something. I don't know, whatever it is, you have to figure something out, because you're gonna have situations where you have people saying, "Oh, well, this isn't fair," or like, or you can have like teams like Arsenal making up stupid excuses. I mean, like, there's going to be.
There it is.
Wow. There it is. Smack. I didn't walk the smack.
Stupid excuses, faking tests. Stupid excuses, faking tests.
All right, first off, it's not faking tests. False positives are not fake tests. Okay? That's not fake tests.
We don't have all the time in the world to discuss the testing and all this.
Hey, it was false positives. It was, and it's done by independent group. It's not like it's done in-house or something like that. That's not the case.
I'm not false positive that Jurgen Klopp just needed a break, and it's okay. And just like Arsenal needed a break, we couldn't play Sunday. I wanted to play Sunday. We couldn't do it.
The difference is this. The difference is this with what why I was calling hypocrisy is that with Arsenal's main concern wasn't, oh, hey, we don't have enough players because of COVID. Yours was, hey, people got red cards. That's not our problem. That's a big difference.
Yeah, but that was in the landscape of the rules.
Our problem isn't. Oh, you got players going to AFCON. So do we. That's not our problem. Our problem isn't the fact that you just gave out on a loan 2 of your players. You can't 3 of your players, exactly. You cannot cry like, oh, we don't have enough players, but we have enough players to loan out to other teams.
Yeah, we're allowed to. Yeah, we're
allowed to be hypocrites.
Transfer
that's
window.
What you're basically saying. You're allowed to be hypocrites because that's
what why? Because we're a big club.
If you can't, you said yourself.
They're officially big now.
Why when you loan a player, it's because you don't have enough time to give that player on your own pitch. That's what you're saying. But then you just, but we don't have enough players to play this game. How is that not hypocritical? How does that make sense? I know you're a gooner, but
we're overloaded in a position. We were overloaded in a position. We had too many in that position. I don't need 4 left backs. I can loan out a left back. I'm not missing Said Klasinic. He's not playing in that game anyway. That has nothing. It's not a body.
It's the same thing as why, the same reason why, Milner for our team is so important because I don't.
Most Carabao Cups are.
I don't want to play him at right. I don't want to play with Milner at right back, but if it's necessary, I would, or left back, or midfield, or wherever the hell I have to put him. But the fact is, the reason why we're doing that, or reason why we have players like that, or reason why we have to be versatile like that is because, one, we are a big team. And you as a big squad, if you want to be called a big boy again, okay, you as a big boy squad have to realize the fact that there are teams that are below us in the sense of of notoriety or clamor and everything else with the size of their teams that have to deal with the same rules. So they have to deal with it.
Exactly. But then why aren't we killing Burnley, who's only played 17 games this season? They get a break. Now I got to play Burnley this weekend after playing you on Thursday. Well-rested
Burnley isn't a big top six, whatever you want to call it. They're not a big team like that. They're all due respect to Burnley fans, but you're not on the level of Chelsea or an Arsenal
But there's been 21 postponements in the Premier League this season.
I get that.
21. So why is everybody killing Arsenal? Because we had to play on short rest in a game we shouldn't have had to play on short rest. Because we had to play you. We shouldn't have had to play that game on short rest.
Are you kidding me?
Our schedule got changed because you changed our schedule. So then we changed Spurs' schedule. That's what we did.
Absolutely. You are the same team that did Lasagna Gate last year. The same team that ended up because of your Lasagna Gate, ended up resulting in a different order in the pecking for the top 4. Your team, not mine, not his, your team. And that's why I'm like, that's why I'm sitting there going how can you can't say those things. Just accept the fact that you were on here spouting off about how we're trying to duck you for some dumb reason, and all of a sudden now your team is doing the exact same thing. Yo, let me say this.
We didn't gain anything for this game by getting postponed.
I will give for Chelsea fans.
We gained nothing.
They played 15 games or something like that in the past month and a half or something. So almost around the same amount of games as we have. And the fact is, Arsenal have played 8. So it's one of those things where it's you've played almost half the games that your co-host team has. Yeah, you're sitting there going, we played too many games and we don't have enough players. And get over yourself, my guy. If you're going to be put on your big pants and act like a big boy. All right. Don't be like someone that's going to be crying as soon as it benefits you.
Like I said, we were ready. We were ready to play the Carabao Cup when we were supposed to play the Carabao Cup. Right. You got it postponed. It's fine.
Are you kidding?
It's fine.
Are your training facilities shut down?
Wait, is
Is your
cause
COVID situation
and
so bad?
effect.
Is your COVID situation so
No,
bad?
we had a bullshit red card because your forward is a crybaby and takes a little.
I'm so happy that you said that.
He takes a tiny little knock in his chest and he rolls around like Neymar in World Cup 2014.
So happy.
And the red card was in the back. You know how fast he pulled that red card? They wanted to pull that red card. They were looking to pull that red card on Granit Xhaka. They were just waiting for that moment to give Liverpool that advantage at Anfield, and they did. And guess what? You got outcoached.
I think this is one of the times I'm going to side with Liverpool and Lord Walker. That was a red card, dude.
No, it's
he was the last man, and he straight kicked him in the chest.
When that
happened, I was like, red card for sure. That happened.
He didn't kick him in the chest. His foot brushed his chest. I'll kick him in the chest. I'll show you what a kick in the chest looks like. That was not a kick in the chest.
Can I bring evidence number one?
That's why it was so quick. It was like, wow, did he really just do that? Red.
Can we please show the shared? I have evidence, my guy.
Oh. He brings evidence to the table.
Please.
Oh my God.
Tell me how that's not a red card. In what world is that not a red card?
How's that not a handball? That hand's not in a natural position to me. How's that not a handball? That's not a natural. That's not a natural position.
Kicked in the jewels, and you're thinking that's not natural. Who cares?
What's that right? Yeah, then he should bring his hand down. His right hand shouldn't be up here. If he's getting kicked down here, he should be protecting himself.
Wow.
Look at that.
He didn't even get touched.
Only a gooner.
All right, so turn the image like the video. Turn the image. Yeah, you brought images, right? Where's the other side? Where's the other side? Because I can fit this
like
couch.
3D, the 3D like composing.
You didn't bring the video. Be typical Liverpool fan. Typical. Only show that little bit. Show the video.
Only
show the video. Show it in real time. Show it in real time.
Oh my gosh.
That's some crybaby shit.
Pencil, I'd be like, wow. That.
That's some soft shit. That's all I'm saying.
VAR.
Soft. It didn't even go to VAR.
We're getting some shady balls VARs because
I don't know if it needed to go to VAR.
Soft.
He thought he was a Karate Kid there. Is he Daniel's son? What is he doing, my guy?
I've been kicked harder by life. Come on, bro. Joe's is soft, and he's gonna pay for it this week. It's fine. It's fine. You know why all this is fine? Because at the end of the day, you were given every advantage in that game, and you got nothing out of it. Now you got to come to the Emirates tomorrow, and it's game on, baby.
The worst
game on
have happened is for us to have seen a red card. I said it 4 and 3 times again. Is that
Arteta was ready? That's a good coach. He was ready.
Absolutely, Arteta's ready to put everyone back and park the bus. That's congratulations.
Hey,
but all the same,
you got to finish.
The difference between our teams is that we were trying to play for a win. You were trying to play for a tie. That's
not true. That's not true because we pushed a couple times and we had better scoring opportunities.
No, you didn't. Tie for you was
we did.
Simply no, you actually didn't.
Well, no, you
didn't.
Jordan
Henderson missed a really good opportunity.
Sitters. Straight sitters.
Obviously,
Minamino
missed a very
came up minimum.
Yeah,
Amino.
And he also and I was disappointed in him, but I still believe that he'll make up the difference.
We'll see.
He's a good player, and I believe you got to just believe in your players. But all the same, there's no way that's not a red card. And 2, it's when you hear stuff like that, that's where I'm like, okay, we are really, really, really having issues if we can't come to a equal ground to say that's a red card. Come on,
it's a crybaby. It's a crybaby.
It's not crybaby. He's
a crybaby. Watch it in full time and watch his reaction. He's a crybaby. Was it a red card? Fine. It was a red card. You can't go back and change it. It was a red card. It was a red card in reputation. If that's not Granit Xhaka or Sergio Ramos, that might not be a red card. Period.
That could have been Arteta for all I care. It's still a red card.
If that's not Sergio Ramos,
that's a red card. Who cares who it is? Anyone that kicks someone
and the reaction drew the red card, and the guy who committed the action drew the red card. It was not. That's
I don't know. I think that's a red card by anybody.
Terms of it.
Yeah.
Like that's
they both were making a play for the ball.
If
and
he
Josh,
doesn't, he turned and I'm not saying that it was deliberately, like he went to try to kick him deliberately to hurt him, but his action was reckless in the sense of you still have to have control of yourself. You can't just say, "Oh, wow, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do that." Still, you just freaking kicked me in my stomach. That's a red card. Anytime, any place, any that's a red card. Doesn't matter who plays, what team it is, or what player it is. It's a red card. That could be Pele for all I care. It's still a red card.
Everybody, go find the video on YouTube and show me how hard he got kicked in the stomach. That's all I'll say. Show me how hard. My 8-year-old hits me in the stomach harder weekly. Come on, crybaby.
You really are going to say that you shouldn't get a card for kicking someone? Okay. Let's just go on to the fact that Gooners are frauds. People all listen to this. Gooners, I'm now officially going, that gnat that wouldn't go away, that is Gooners for sure. like you want to be relevant, you're right. That little gnat that just keeps buzzing in front of your face and you're just annoyed of it.
It's gonna be so annoying tomorrow. It's gonna be so annoying tomorrow.
Love it.
Bukayo Saka is gonna be that gnat. Bukayo Saka is going to be that
you can win is that you have to park the bus. You have to pull it back.
No, you're not going to see a bus park tomorrow. We're coming for you at home.
The reason why I'm saying that, we struggled
2-1 Arsenal. We are coming for you tomorrow.
We struggled against.
Got to give some predictions.
We struggled against Chelsea the way that we struggled against you in the same manner. That game was wide open when we were playing Chelsea initially, but after they got the handball after they got the handball, and got the red card, that changed the game. Tuchel correctly, he already plays a back five already, but then he even put more players back.
We did a back three.
No,
we did. He went to a back three. He put Rob Holding in the game. You got scared of Rob Holding. You couldn't put the ball in the net.
It's not a matter of like they could have put you back there. It wouldn't have mattered. The fact is, it's not easy to break down a low block when you play it that way. So much so that I watched so much.
Break it down.
Yeah, I watched so much time and on trying to. How the heck do you break this down? Because obviously,
Liverpool, you better send it to him because he had a hard time figuring it out himself.
It's difficult, but the problem is though.
You better send it to Jurgen because he can't figure it out.
The problem is, you were so consolidated in the back that it's difficult to break it down, and there's not nice impact. Yeah, and it was difficult to get the creations
like a cannon. Like a big, strong cannon. Bam! Here we come tomorrow. Out like a cannon.
Yeah, filled with manure.
Oh, this is very
still.
exciting. I love it.
So what do you got? You got Bobby Blue Eyes putting 2 tomorrow? What do you got? You got a lucky PK called for you guys? What do you got? I know you're getting a penalty called tomorrow. That'll happen, I'm sure. You'll get
absolutely.
one.
I mean,
Fabinho will get to.
They don't.
Make your Fabinho PK bet. Yeah,
fouling someone for sure. But that's a good question. I don't have a score prediction for tomorrow because usually when I put my score prediction, I'm pretty far off.
That's the life of this is the wrong sport to predict scores.
Yeah, it's hard to predict it, but I do predict a win. I believe that we will win. I'm not saying that just because I believe my team. It's just more so. Look, we're not going to be facing you parking the bus like you did because. Like I said, the worst thing for us to have happened was for you to have 10 men. By you having 10 men, that meant, okay, we're not going forward. We're not going to really have this progressive style of soccer. And we really do well when teams want to come out and score, teams want to come out and play soccer. But if you're just going to sit back and you're going to be in this low block or this or that, we do struggle. And that's something that is another reason why I would have loved to see Coutinho, a player that can like create or be able to dribble in and do what he did in his first attempt on goal for Arsenal, for Villa, So those things are real and relevant. But yeah, we're going to beat you. We're going to beat you, and it's going to be fun because I know that there's a lot of Gooner fans that have crawled out and all of a sudden are banging their chest for a team that's beaten no one. And for a squad that just got beat by Nottingham Forest, as Dan so rightfully put, all of a sudden you guys are back to being like, if it's like, does Wenger is coming out and going to like guest coach the team or something. It's not happening. You guys are on the right, you're on the right path toward becoming trajectory towards being a team that can compete for fourth, fifth. I'll give you that. But all of these teams, even Chelsea, and look, I'm going to come with a little smoke for Chelsea real quick because I know we don't have much time. But even Chelsea, look, the way that this has happened this year, there's a lot of teams that have absolutely some opportunities to make a difference. Chelsea is what it is. I say how they're draw merchants because they've been drawing a lot of games. I think what is it, like you're 2 out of 12? Yeah, you've gotten 2 out of 12 points or something in the last, like in your current form, and there's teams behind you that have games in hand. If the Spurs win 3 games and tie 2, they're ahead of Chelsea to make up the difference of games that they need to do. If even Arsenal, if they win their games, they could hop in front of Chelsea. So I mean, like, look, I'm not saying that Arsenal hasn't made progressive steps forward towards trying to be relevant again, but baby steps. Like, we just all of a sudden want to rip the Band-Aid off and be like, oh, Arsenal's back. No,
tomorrow's going to be that big step,
and that's what it has to be. Because I mean, when you play against, and
then we'll get the no Salah, no Mane excuse, so that's fine.
No,
we'll wait. We'll keep that one in the pocket. That's fine.
Even the loss of even Ox, who's going to be out for this game upcoming, is still even a big loss for us right now, because we are at a
I was worried when he came into the game.
We are hurting for players,
and so are we. So it's going to be a battle. Don't bring that excuse, because so are we. Don't even. I'm not saying we're missing just as many.
All I'm saying is the loss of Ox is significant because Ox has been getting quality.
We don't even have a striker,
and I mean, you do have a striker. You have a striker. You have a striker. You just don't want to. You just want to play him. You have a striker. You kicked him out of your team, Mister. I don't have players.
No, actually, he has heart lesions, and he got sent home from Gabon, so he's not. We don't have a striker, and he's not going to be here in 2 months anyway. We have one striker, and he's a 33-year-old Frenchman, and he can put the ball in the net, but he doesn't have 90 minutes. Game after game after game right now. So
give Eddie another run out. He needed it. That was an unfair when he got taken out because that red card.
If I don't see Laka in the starting lineup tomorrow, I'm going to be very upset. That's all I'm saying. We have to, and Lord Walker's right in 100%. And I said it in the beginning of the show, us going for it tomorrow is probably the wrong move because that opens the game up and that plays right into Liverpool's hands. But we want to be relevant. We want to play with the big boys. We got to go for it tomorrow. It's a Carabao Cup, and we're shorthanded, so we're going to go for it tomorrow. We can't. I don't want to park the bus. I don't want to see an ultra defensive lineup. I want to see Saka. I want to see Laka. I want to see Martinelli. I want to see them try to win this game in regular time, no extra time, no PKs, take opportunities, and try to stay toe-to-toe with the big boys.
The last thing I want to see is penalty shootout because that gives you an absolutely a chance of winning. But the thing I can say is as long as you go out there and you play soccer, you play football, and you go out there and you actually are trying to go forward, you will lose. That's simple. You will lose because if you look, it's as simple of I know you don't like Google or you don't like the thing they call the internet. But you can look up our fixtures against you, and it's been like years.
They've been tight.
Are you kidding me? Tight? The only
recently.
What?
Yeah, other than your 4-0 game.
Nothing.
Yeah, and we were super short-handed at that point, and didn't have. Go back to the roster of that game and tell me.
The only reason why you're talking about Bobby Blue Eyes is because he put a hat trick on you.
Like, let's go back to the roster of that game if you want to, see who we had in that game.
I know you don't like history, as you so put it. Who likes books and stuff? But I mean, like
books. Yeah, Bobby.
Books. Bobby put one on.
Bobby's going to score tomorrow too.
You think
There's
so?
A good chance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good chance. There's a very good chance. But I mean, look, I really, really am hoping that this turns out to be a good match for us. Obviously, your squad your fans have talked immense amount of caca, and they need to be put in place.
I think Liverpool. I think Arsenal's kind of come out flying at home, crowd behind them, and if Liverpool can kind of save off that original 20 minutes of just intense pressure, I think Liverpool has a really good chance. So I think if Arsenal comes out and scores a goal early, I think that's their best bet to win. They got to come out flying. They got to score maybe in the first 15, 20 minutes to have a really good shot, because I think they're going to go for it. You're home. You got the crowd behind you. Semifinal, you got a date with Chelsea for the final on the line. Go for it in the first 15, 20. If not, I fear that Arteta's probably going to maybe switch tactics and just hoping maybe go for that tie and get into PKs, and who knows, like you said, what will happen.
And I can ask this question to you both then. What do you think? What do you think? And you can especially answer being a Gooner fan. What do you think will happen if you lose badly? If you lose like the way you've lost to us in a myriad of games, what happens if you lose badly? Will you now be Arteta out again?
No, I never was to be again.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying will your fan base become Arteta out again? Because that's the only way you're seeing silverware is if you win this cup, or if you that's the only way you're doing it. Obviously, you can't do it because Nottingham Forest took your opportunities out from the other one. So this is the only way you're seeing.
That cup that means nothing, right? The one that means nothing every time you get kicked out of it, right?
It's what? It's not necessarily that it means nothing.
No, you've been very clear many times that cup means absolutely nothing. So let's not go back to the Nottingham Forest loss. It means nothing.
Let me clarify then. I can clarify from a Liverpool supporter in America. Yes, it doesn't mean much to me, but it means a hell of a lot to fans and supporters in England. It is immensely big.
14-time most winningest of all time.
And that's something that you should be proud of. And you should hang your hat on.
Like I said last week, it's a blessing in disguise. That's you said we're not playing enough games, right? You're playing more games. We shouldn't be tired. That's less games now we have to play. We'll be fine. And we won't need any more postponements.
That's, again, another reason why I'm saying that for you to be crying about not having enough players, not having enough this and that, you have plenty of time on your hands. You have plenty of time on your hands, man.
Good.
You're not playing like Chelsea's. You're not playing the schedules of Liverpool. You're not playing Man City's schedule. You're not, because you're not a big team yet like that again.
So when we win tomorrow and we sign your boy Genie, how are you gonna feel? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm leaving it at that.
Wow. Didn't we? I thought we said we weren't talking about ex-girlfriends.
When we win tomorrow and follow it up with the signing of Genie, how's that gonna make you feel?
Hey, you guys have. I am only jealous of Arsenal under the fact that you guys you have spent money. You spent everyone was laughing at you in the beginning of the season of how much money you spent that transfer market, and it has paid off somewhat in the sense of it's opened up some positions where you are making strides forward. However, I still don't think that you are just there yet. And I think that there's a lot of fans out there that openly talk trash and mess as if you are. And I'm like, just perform. Bring home silverware. You want to shut us up, then beat us. That's it. But no, you're not on our level. And hopefully tomorrow we show you that you're not on our level. That's
up
what I
or
would
shut up momentum game for the Gooners tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, when
We're still friends.
silverware is on the line, we seem to perform a little better against you, no matter how big the prize is. If you remember the last time silverware was on the line, so.
I got you.
Yeah, meaningless trophies, right? Useless, meaningless.
I mean,
trophies.
The Community Shield is an exhibition game, but yeah, I got you.
It's still a trophy.
It's still a trophy, though. It's absolutely still a trophy.
Great game.
And Chelsea's still waiting to play us.
Yeah. No, it'll and Chelsea's got some situation. We've all got issues and problems for our teams when it comes to health.
Everybody got problems.
Exactly. Health when it comes to the amount of players that we can field, the amount of time and effort that we have to put towards like keeping the team conjoined and moving forward, because right now it does not look like Chelsea is even motivated to play Premier games, to be honest with you. No, I'm not trying to get a knock or shot at them. I'm just saying it does. That performance.
A whole freaking topic, a whole 20 minutes on how the team is responding right now, and I don't know if just Lukaku
and I don't
bringing the energy down in the locker room. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't even know. Lukaku, I don't even know if it is Lukaku. Just real quick, Lukaku is a really great player, but it seems as though because of your past performance with winning the Champions League with Tuchel, and the fact that it was a sea change when he came in from Lampard to his administration of bringing his type of soccer into fold, you still have a coach that had issues at PSG, had issues at Dortmund, with players that with key players, and I just don't know if this team, the way it's constructed, is going to be able to work with that. That is something serious that you have to keep in mind. And I don't think a lot of people won't say that because they love Tuchel. I mean, let's be honest. I understand why.
He wins, and I guess it brings trophies. But yeah, he's not the player's coach. But I mean, you see that in every sport. You got guys that can really motivate you, and they can be your coach, and they can be your friend too. And then there's ones that are straight up your coach. I'm your boss. You're going to do what I say, and not your friend whatsoever. Can
I tell you the stat? So it's Mount, Pulisic, Lukaku, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, and Ziyech. That's what, 6 players, I think, right? Mm-hmm. They have 20 goals amongst that. 20 goals amongst them. 20 Premier League goals. That is insane. The fact that your defense, most of your goals are coming from your wing backs.
Yeah, that's why I said before you came on, having no Reece James or Chilwell,
and that's huge.
Really affecting them.
Yeah, and go figure, a player making a difference. I'm not saying Reece James is Virgil van Dijk in any means, but I mean, it makes a difference. It does absolutely make a difference. Yeah. And
according to Eddie, Reece James over TAA.
Yeah, I know. That's just because he's just trying to. But I mean, come on.
All right. That's well, we'll do Chelsea breakdown when one of us faces them in the finals here. So most likely us.
Yeah,
it should be great. I'm excited. When is that?
I mean, London is blue.
Eastern tomorrow.
Tomorrow's game is 2:45 Eastern time. So everybody tune in. Big game. Should be.
Are you doing a watch along or something, or sorry?
No, just the game. The game's live. I'm just saying for tomorrow for everybody that wants to watch the actual game.
Everyone should watch. It's gonna be a good game. Despite, I mean, we're most likely gonna. I think we're gonna play some youngsters. You might see Gordon play. Excuse me again. And I think that you're gonna see some real interesting football on the pitch.
Yeah, man.
Excited.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
This has been fun. Lord Walker, thank you again for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Of
Yes.
course, man. Again, thank you for everybody that watched and tuned in again. We appreciate you. Dan, Pete, Benny's Nation checking in, Bry Guy, obviously Daly, and B Willie. We appreciate you guys more than you know. So next week we're going to talk a little bit more about we got some men's national team big time talk next Wednesday with their game coming up on next Thursday against El Salvador. So we're going to be heavy into the U.S. men's national team. Obviously, a little recap of this game between Arsenal, Liverpool, and all the other Prem League from the week coming up. So again, thank you, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you again to Lord Walker. Check you guys next week, 4:30. Later.
Yep. Later.